Yeah.
Welcome to episode 11 of Wednesday Night Live. We're having some issues with StreamYard, so we're not totally sure where it's being streamed. I think for sure we're checking right now. Brian, we're good on YouTube.
Yep.
And,
looks like it.
And we good anywhere else, you guys?
Not yet.
Not yet?
You're sounding kind of quiet today, John.
Am I too quiet again?
Yep.
Sit up on your mic there, buddy.
All right, baby. How's that sound?
Now you sound professional.
Get all up on it.
All right. Shut. Don't be nasty, Tom. Don't be nasty. How's
being
Hey, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
from Zealand, New Zealand.
Zealand?
There you go.
Old, new. It's Zealand.
He's from Zealand.
Now, hey, there's Bernie.
It's up on YouTube.
Whoop.
Craig, are you on the company page or are you on the lounge, the family lounge page? Where are you commenting from? Let us know because we're having.
Facebook. That's all we know.
Yeah.
What's up, Bernie?
Oh no, we're up on the company page. Good. Yeah. We're sorry, guys. We know we're running a little bit late. Actually, only about 8 minutes late, but we were having some issues with StreamYard and making sure the show would be. Yeah. Don't be nasty, Tom.
Yeah.
See, people know you already.
Don't be so nasty.
Who's yelling at me now?
Yeah, we were having a little bit of issues, but I think we got it figured out. StreamYard was changing times on us. Yeah. Oh, how you doing, Brian?
Doing pretty good, except for, I have a lot more snow now than I did about a week ago. So there's that. Came home from work, snow blowed the driveway, and, still no hat, still a spring coat. So, it wasn't that horrible.
It's been cold. It's cold here. We got like 32 degrees in the middle of the night.
That's adorable.
So how you doing, Tommy boy, Mr. Nasty?
Well, we got about 4 inches of snow yesterday. My plow guy showed up, so I didn't have to go do nothing. That's the way to do it, Brian. Get a plow guy. I'm just saying. Other than that, I'm glad not to be working 4 days in a row right now.
Yeah.
Life's pretty good that way.
Hey, Sarah, how you doing, hon?
Hey, everybody. And
Hello.
for those asking who
Hey.
Brody Lee is, he was Luke Harper or on WWE, and John Huber was his real name. He passed away the other day.
Yeah.
Age of 41.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I saw the story.
Yeah. Shit. Everybody's died. What's her name died? Did she die today?
Marianne.
Marianne died today.
Died too. Supposedly from COVID. So we don't know.
It probably was.
Yeah. How about Tim? How's Tim doing?
Tim is well.
He's
Doing very well. No, I had a productive last week. It was kind of hectic with all the holidays and everything. Felt like I wasn't at home much, but I didn't miss all the barking. So it was quite nice to get out. But other than that, life as usual.
Yeah. How was everybody else's Christmas out there? I hope everybody had a good Christmas. Small one. Nobody, no family. It was kind of weird. Well, I had my daughter come over, and that was about it. But that's 3 grandkids, so it was hectic for me. But how was your guys' Christmas?
I was waiting for everyone to talk at the same time. Mine was actually pretty laid back. So I was here flying solo for Christmas Eve with the Wiener Schnitzels. Didn't do anything. And then Christmas Day, went over to my friend's house, and they had a little snack spread all splayed out, and we all just kind of hung out and did shots and had some beers and
Shots.
yeah, shots. So yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah,
Speaking of beers,
this is the first.
I have some.
This is the first Christmas we didn't go out and have drinks because usually we after midnight we go, a bunch of us go have drinks Christmas Eve, but yeah, it's just a weird Christmas, man.
It was weird for everybody. I mean, for me specifically, because even my family couldn't really travel. Like my mom and dad are older, so they're minding their COVID P's and Q's, and so I didn't really get to see anybody close to home. Close to me.
I think Craig had the best Christmas ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig. if we could have like hopped the red eye, we would have been there like 27 and a half hours later after a trend, just one connector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter wanted me to barbecue. I've never barbecued for Christmas. I mean, it's the weather's fine for me to go outside, but I've never thought about barbecuing for Christmas as a Christmas dinner. Just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I got people up here still going outside barbecuing and smoking and
It's
grilling.
completely
And,
normal up here.
yeah, we snowblow our decks off. We go out there and
Yeah.
and like 4 feet of snow, and we just clear everything off and just have fun with it.
Shave the. I have the sickles. Oh, I get what you're saying. It's a coin flip. Do both. What the hell?
He's trying to decide if he wants pizza or not.
Yeah, you gotta have pizza. Just don't get.
I think if it's yes or no, I would just go with yes and then throw it in the refrigerator if you change your mind.
Right. And then pineapple on pizza will still be good.
Cold pizza works too.
Yeah.
Cold pizza works, but pineapple on pizza is a no-no. Period.
There's something wrong with you, man.
That's the same debate you can have with like. All right, here's a weird one for you guys. I know this is not vaping related, but how about ketchup with your grilled cheese?
Yeah.
See,
well,
Brian,
I don't. My wife.
Look at Tom. Tom's like mad because I just created. I was probably sacrilege when it comes to cheese.
Yeah.
But somebody showed me that a long time ago when I was a lot younger. They made a grilled cheese and they put ketchup on their plate, and I'm like, "What the heck did you put ketchup on your plate for?" They're like, "Try it, you'll like it." And so from here on out, now I dip my grilled cheeses in ketchup.
It would be kind of like just a really thick cold tomato soup.
That's gross. I'm sorry.
No,
Ranch dressing.
How do you figure that?
Well, you dip your grilled cheese in your tomato soup.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Okay.
That's normal.
So it's just not hot.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah, it's just not hot. That's all. That's the only difference.
See, Craig says pineapple is great on pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, but I'm not a pineapple on my pizza kind of guy. So, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna put you. I'm not gonna put you guys down for that.
Yeah,
I
will take. I don't care if I upset the person that bought the pizza or I'm at someone's house that made it that way. I will literally take the pineapple off the pizza right in front of them. I just, there's a no. That's a no for me. Hello, guys. Hello, Facebook user.
Yay, love them Facebook users.
We have to figure out who that is. Who wants to take care? Since broadcast.
Well, I tell you what, there's somebody. It's somebody coming from the group because it's only groups where they have to authorize their name. If it's the ZampleBox page, you'd see their name.
Right. So, Tommy, why don't you take care of that page? Can you do that?
Yeah, all right. I will find out who that is.
Yeah, find out who that is, and why don't we do? We don't do hardware here, but we will show you what juice we're vaping. So, Brian, what juice are you vaping?
I'm actually really digging on. My kiddo's getting angry for going to bed upstairs. So if you hear her, she's getting frustrated. I actually have been on the Tango Ice.
That's good.
I got it in my ZampleBox. This is actually very surprising with me. I actually just opened this, not even a day ago. And I'm already about halfway through it, maybe.
That's too much.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
not even half, dude.
Yeah. It's about a quarter. That's about a quarter. A third gone.
Yeah.
It's Nick.
But it's Nick salt. You don't tend to burn through that nearly as fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
wait. That's Nick.
Facebook user has been identified as Mr. Nick Orlando.
Oh,
hey, Nick Orlando in his house.
But Brian, that's salt juice. That is a lot for salt.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. Like I've been kind of using it as just like Tim right now, and it shouldn't really do that, but it's one of those juices where you find it good and you just don't care. You just keep going at it like, oh, this is delicious.
Right.
I should stop. Yeah, but
you should clean your desk.
Yeah,
what else?
You're the poster child for nicotine addiction right now.
Hey, at least it's not 50, it's 25.
What's the tweaker on South Park? I think his name was Tweak, right?
Yeah. Can you imagine Brian later tonight, like down on his hands and knees in the bathroom, like scraping the carpet looking for Tango Ice. Just fucking totally tweaking out looking for 25 milligram Tango Ice because he
I know I
emptied the
spilled a
bottle.
drop here somewhere. Damn it, where is it?
I'm actually gonna find me a plastic straw so I can show John that what these things actually do and how great they are. So
We have plastic straws. San Francisco is the only city that doesn't have plastic straw. I literally got a Jack in the Box cup with a plastic straw on it.
Yeah, and you had to ask for that straw, didn't you?
No. San Francisco is the only city that does the whatever those straws are made out of paper, I think.
yeah, I found it totally strange that they ban plastic straws, but they give you a metal one where you can shank people. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Right, just sharpen it out.
Yeah.
I think it's just setting it up for a major spitball war, if you ask me. Like, if you got the metal ones, you definitely got, like, a blow dart gun in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can even get those BBs for BB guns. They'll fit in there. Should. So.
Don't have that problem here in Atlanta. I think they just do the paper ones now for aesthetical. Like, I went to lunch the other day at this place around the corner. It's called Over the Top Burger, and we had these shakes. They got these crazy shakes, and they had a big one. It was, you remember those primary pencils you used to have like in elementary school when you were little, big old fatties. That's like how big that straw was. You could have sucked a whole entire
Never falls.
I quit. I'll leave it at that. It was big. I'll just say it was big.
That's what she said.
Are we done with Brian's juice? He had one bottle. The guy's got like 8 million devices and 25 this and 30 of that, and he's got one bottle of juice.
Yeah,
That's
and
sad.
I've been actually on this guy for a while.
About that juice for 10 minutes now. You vaping anything else?
Well,
Right now, that's really all I've been vaping on right now.
I'm gonna end up
I'm gonna
taking
be
up the other rest of the
changing
hour.
on juice here probably tonight here. So
Okay.
just don't know which one yet.
Who's next?
Did that go through, guys?
It kind of
went
sounded like it was in the toilet, but it worked.
All right.
He's all happy. He's got his sound effects back now.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, what the
Yo.
F are you vaping?
Liquid.
Liquid.
What the F are you vaping?
3 kinds of juice.
Just don't call him Shirley.
I only got 2.
Just don't call me Shirley.
Blueberry Blast
Never heard of it.
and
That was quick.
it was Mucho Strawberry.
Yeah, I still have yet to try.
Moments later.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got one more.
All right.
Okay.
Lemon custard.
Lemon custard.
That's it.
Flavors.
That's all I got.
Who's that lemon custard from? That's some dark juice, man.
It's been sitting a while.
Shit.
From You Got E-Juice.
Oh, are they still around?
No, that's why it's been sitting around for a while.
Yeah, actually, you can use that to strip paint off a car. So
No, it still works good.
I don't know. I kind of freak out when juice starts getting old and it kind of discolors a little bit. And I'm like, oh.
yeah, when it gets dark
fine.
and thick, and it starts to look like pancake syrup, I throw
Yeah.
Still tastes
I
fine.
always give it a taste test first to see. And
I
if the
smelled
flavor's
it.
still there and
I
stuff.
smelled lemon custard. I taste
try it.
lemon custard. It's still good.
I mean, it's not gonna spoil and get moldy and stuff.
No, I just eons ago I used to hey, it's Batman.
Hey,
now we
Batman.
know it's Batman. Sorry, Batman. Last week, man, I was like, I just don't want to pronounce this guy's name wrong.
Yeah, we did.
How do you pronounce that?
Yeah,
Talking about with the Batman.
yeah. Welcome.
Welcome, Batman. Yeah. So I don't know. Darkest Day Vapors used to have the little plastic bottles, and I was adamant. I kept them in a little stash box. It was nice and cool. It was dark, and one day I opened it up. And I guess I was just slow about getting to it or whatever. I mean, that stuff looked black. It looked like, and then I was like, well, maybe it's still okay. It's just congealing and nicotine changing the coloring. And they all tasted the same at that point. They all had this bland, boring taste.
Yeah, Batman, I'm vaping your juice. That's one of the juices on my list for tonight. As soon as Tim's done with his 12 that he's vaping with.
Yeah.
No, that was Tom, not Tim yet. We haven't gotten to
I'm
Tim's.
done. Tim, you're up.
Yeah.
Oh, you're done? All right. So I unfortunately do not have any of Batman's flavors in my box because I think all of his are freebase, right? Am I correct
Yeah,
on that?
they're coming in the ZampleBox.
In
I
the
think
sample box, yes.
All right, so my sub right now is a Nick Salt box, so I probably will have to get it separately somehow. But I think I did a damn good job reading off all the flavor names last week. At any rate, I'm on the Taylor still, the Pinky Palmer. You want me to do like the fun, hey,
yeah,
focus
there you go.
hand?
Beautiful, beautiful.
That's the Pinky Palmer, even though the font is like font like 1.5, so I can barely read it with glasses on. And then I got the Taylor Wild Berries. I had a whole box of Taylor, so bear with me. It might last me a while. And then I'm doing the Fruit Monster Strawberry Kiwi Pomegranate.
Yeah,
Kiwi for the New Zealanders in the house.
the kiwi. Is the kiwi strong in that one, Tim?
No, it's kind of a. I get more of the strawberry and the pomegranate. Kiwi to me in e-liquids has always been sort of. It's kind of a muted flavor. It's a little bit more dull. It's not so bright.
Yeah.
So it tends to bring the brightness of a certain flavor kind of down a little bit. So if that's what you're hunting for, that might be the kiwi. It's just sort of offsetting the brighter tones and flavors. And then of course the one that I probably get yelled at a little bit. I got the Candy King on ice apple. What's it called? Hard apple.
Hard apple.
Hard apple. The hard apple in the Juggernaut V2, and that's really good apple flavor with a nice icy mix in it. It's not too icy. Not like that Heisenberg. Oh my God.
Heisenberg. Yeah.
I thought I was gonna friggin'. I was like, wow, it's like back to the menthol cigarette days. Anyhow, that's it. Just 4, not 12. Only 4.
Only
All
4.
right, Shirley, you're up.
Shirley's up. Shirley's switching cameras.
Shirley's frozen.
Good gravy. What camera is that?
That is the stomach camera, I'm calling
That's the e-liquid stomach camera.
it. Go ahead, Tim.
Well, I can't. It's blurry.
You can't see
I'm gonna
it?
have to go to the internet for that one.
So
I can't see. I don't know what the flavor.
Pineapple one.
I don't know what the flavor. I can't read that, man.
I
So
can't.
pineapple.
I
upside
need.
down
To,
cake.
I need. Here. All right. Do I have to go to the internet to help out? Go to the next one. I'll come back to
The
it.
Chantes.
Okay.
Sour House Ice. And the Wild Berry from Gorilla Fruits. And the last one, I dusted another bottle in 2 days. The Mucho Guava, man. I can't stop it. I'm gonna dust that 120 mils I got from ZampleBox. But yeah, I'm really liking that juice from you, Batman. It's really good. It's really good. And I almost dusted that. I mean, look how much I have left in there.
Wow.
So was that the bizcocho de piña al revés?
No, that's the Sapporo del Enchanto.
No, the flavor, not the brand.
Oh, it's the
No.
The
peanut
pineapple
Sabores
upside down
del
cake.
Encanto is the brand. Sorry, Batman. Forgive the older dude up on the corner in the
Where
upper
is the
top
name
up
at
there.
then?
At the bottom.
Oh, that's too hard.
That's why I said I can't read it. So again, the brand. If you're on the ZampleBox page
Yeah, hold on.
and you're looking for these flavors, you can find them. Just type in Sabores. It's Sabores, and that should at least get you to the search feature. Full line is Sabores del Encanto, and John is vaping the bizcocho de piña al revés.
Yeah, that's
Which is pineapple upside down cake, and it's
Pineapple upside-
phenomenal.
The flavor profile is dessert, rum, cake, and pineapple.
yeah. I can't stop vaping that, man.
No, it's every time I have a bottle, I blow right through it.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, I might have to switch my sub back to a freebase sub.
Yeah, I was thinking about switching mine to the salts, but I mean, I got so many salts. I gotta vape the ones I have. I am going to pull up the poll here, guys, real quick. And we had a kind of we've done this poll before on the page. I kind of wanted to get a general idea what we're leaving our houses with. How many juices are we leaving with from our house? Let me pull the screen up here. And on the ZampleBox page, we got one and dones, 19 of us there that are vaping one and done, which I think is probably going to be the top one, I think, on most of them. I don't think a lot of guys are grabbing more than 2. I was surprised to see people grabbing 3 and 4. I put 5 there just because last time I didn't put 5, I got yelled at for not having 5 on there. So I put 5 on there. But yeah, we got one and done, 19 votes there. 2, 17, 4, it had 2 votes. And Daniel.
Look at me, on an island down there with 3.
3, you got the 3.
Yeah. See, I'm usually with 2. I have 1 Nick Salt and 1 Freebase usually.
Yeah, but on Vape and Fagan's page, one and done, 21 votes there. 2 at 9 votes, and generally 2 flavors that pair well with each other. I don't know who put that in there. That's 2, right, guys?
Yeah, that's 2 to me.
3 got 1 vote there, and phone, wallet, and keys got 1 vote there. I swear to God, you guys. That's why I got to close these polls. I got to close them.
Well, can't you lock them down so they can't add their own options?
Yeah, I mean, one option did get taken off earlier, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was going to say anything that pairs well with COVID.
Yeah. That pairs well with COVID, yeah. Lisa had 2 as the top one there with 7. 1 and done had 2 votes there, and 4 got 1, and 3 got 1 there.
So asking the general panel who's watching the show, and being that 1 and done was the most overwhelming vote, is it because it's just convenient enough? Is it too hard to roll around with a couple bottles?
Yeah.
Like, what are you carrying? Like 120 ml bottle? Like I'm usually rolling with two 30s, right? Because I'll take my pods with me. So here's my evening out. That, and if I'm feeling really squirrely, I might take that.
Yeah.
So I got a Freebase and 2 Nick Salts with me.
I don't think a lot of people are carrying around even 60s with them anymore. I think a lot of, I guess probably 60s. I don't see too many people carrying 120s around anymore. And 30s are hard to find unless you're on a subscription service plan like ZampleBox. I don't think too many 30s are floating around anymore, are they? You see them in vape shops? I don't think so.
Not 30s from a vape shop, no.
No.
But you know what the funny part is even though I bring all that stuff with me, I never hardly ever have to dive back into the bottle. It's almost like I'm carrying it around for absolutely no reason. But watch what'll happen. I'll say, screw it. I don't need those bottles, and I'll go out, and then that's when I'll need it.
Yep.
You watch.
That's exactly what happens with me.
It's the security feeling of just having that extra bottle just in case, in case it happens. Just having that extra bottle with you, I think it just makes you feel better. It's just, that's why, why do we really need to carry more than 1 mod,
Well, it's true. But I mean, when you consider that most of the pod devices that you're carrying are only a 2 mil capacity, I think what it boils down to, though, is that the majority of the times that I am out, I'm not usually in an area that's conducive to vaping anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're unless you're stealth vaping in a bar or something like that, if you're, I'm not going to run outside every 10 minutes to hit my vape,
Yeah. I mean, I would never just leave. Well, if I'm just running to the store, I'll grab a pod, but I wouldn't grab a pod for all day. There's just no way I do that. I trust that device, especially if it has a built-in internal battery.
Right.
That I don't think it's going to last me, because especially if I'm driving, I'm going to be hitting that thing like crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the thing I worry about most, is why I bring so many devices is like, what if the battery dies on me?
Yeah.
Then I don't have anything. So I have multiple things just for backup purposes. And I never even had a battery issue the whole time I go out. So I don't know. It's sort of overkill in my world, I guess.
I usually bring my 1 vape with me, 1 extra bottle of juice, and I usually have a battery charger of some sorts with me. For some other reason, just in case. You never know. And I'll bring an extra coil in case I need it too.
Boy, you go prepared.
Oh yeah, it's weird. And then I come home like I never need any of this stuff.
Yeah,
and like you said, the one time it's going to be in your pocket and the button's going to be on, and all of a sudden you got everything is just screwed.
Yeah, that happened to me one night. I took this out and I forgot to lock it or turn it off, And then I went to reach in my pocket for it. I'm like, why is this thing so hot?
Yup.
I'm like, oh, shoot. And so then I had fried the coil, and it was a nightmare the rest of the evening.
Yep.
I bet Brian's got like a 12-volt converter in his car just for his other mods.
No, I actually
Portable
bring
battery.
around with me a little. It's a 2-bay 18650 battery pack,
Yeah.
and I'll bring that with me, and I'll use like the cheap Imrins in there that are actually really good for that use, and use that and to charge my stuff.
What do you carry, Tom? You carry more than one mod when you go to work. You got more than one mod with you.
When I go to work, I carry 3.
3 mods with you. See, that's the because you know you're gone for 8-10 hours.
Yep. And 2 are internal battery. One's a removable battery. Just work stuff. I've got a battery charger that goes with me. I've got a battery bank that goes with me. Spare everything. I'm pretty self-sufficient when I go to work.
But do you take different juice for each one of those mods with you?
Yep.
You do.
Yep. In my bag for work, there's 3 liquids sitting there.
Tim, are you ready for some news, Timmy boy?
You know what? Can you give me a minute? I just looked down and I realized I don't have my notes.
Oh,
That's how unprepared I was. So bear. How
You
do
had all kinds of time.
I know. I realize that. Please
Go
don't
get them off the fax machine.
don't shame me. Okay, I'll be right back.
While we're waiting for Tim, what's new with you, Tommy boy? Anything new in your life?
Well, I did get a really nice Christmas present from me to me.
Oh, you got I did that too.
Yeah, but
What did you get you to you?
Is it this fancy, John?
Yeah,
It looks a little too shiny. It needs to be dropped a few times.
yeah.
No.
You need to drop it, but you got to drop it
No.
a special way. You got to drop it on a corner.
No.
Yeah.
I am not dropping this.
You taking that to work?
No. This stays at home.
It's a desk mod then.
Yup. It's a house queen.
I guess that's okay.
And for what this retails for, yeah.
Did you pay like $50 for it?
No, I paid like $150 for it.
That's pretty good.
On sale.
On sale, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. It was 60% off when I bought it.
That's not that bad, I guess. Depending on like some of the stab woods can be.
Yeah.
I mean, crap. What was it? I was at a show. I was in Texas, and I was watching the blanks being sold, and there were some blanks going for $10,000
Wow.
Yeah.
to buy one blank.
Brand new, the Minikin 3 or Minikin 2 21700. Kodama was 3 something.
Mhm.
But like I said, I got it on sale 60% off. So
Yeah,
right?
kids, head over to the Asmodus website. They're doing like
That
I think
sells all-
everything's been like 60% off for quite some time. So
It's
even
been
though,
at least a good 6 months, I'd say.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they
Keep checking on it.
Yeah, they periodically bring stuff back into stock. So I mean, if you're looking for, I mean, we jumped all over the like the Lustro. It's like the Lustro, but it's the Stabwood version.
It's the Kodama.
Yeah, the Kodama, and that thing is normally a $300 mod. So you're getting it 60% off. You're paying less than $150. So something that you couldn't afford before, you can afford now. So
Yeah, there's a period where Osmosis was coming out with mods just continuously, and then haven't heard a thing from them for a while, and then the sales going on now. I'm starting to see them come back again.
yep.
Oh, the last thing they put out was the Minikin 3, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
it was the Squawker was the last thing they put out.
No, it's the one with the little light on it, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, the Kodamas have lights on the bottom.
No,
Has like
it's all black though with the light on it. It was just a cheaper version of that, like the.
yeah, it was called the Lustro 200 watt.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, Madison got one. She got one in pink, of course.
I don't think they got any Stabwood stuff left.
No, they had a little bit. I mean, the pickings are slim, but they do bring things back into stock. I noticed Mr. Bill Turley is not on the show tonight. He's not in the not in the audience.
Oh yeah, they have the Lustro still.
Yeah.
224.
Yeah. Well, they say 224, but with 60% off, do the math in your head. That'd be what, 112, then minus another
No,
$12.
that's $299 marked down to $224.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they're not doing a sale right now.
Oh, they stopped it? They had
Yeah.
it running forever, like all the way up through almost all the way to the PMTAs.
You know, offer valid. So they have 60% off store wide, $50 order minimum, all sales final. Offer valid 12/28 to 1/3, and use code
Oh.
60.
Yeah, so it's still
OFF.
good for a few more days.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Just put the code in first.
That's the code that I used
59 minutes.
for this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go to Plan B. It didn't even print on my printer, so I'm just gonna go off the screen. So that's your options for tonight. It's still the same damn thing.
So
No, it's not. It's
I
not.
just don't have paper to tap, which most people probably appreciate that now.
yeah, just tell me when you're ready.
Hey, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm here. Hold on one second. I'm sharing my screen. So I'm bringing this up. All right. So there was a lot going on. There's tons of stuff to mention. One muy importante thing. There he is. There's Bill. See, as soon as the news shows up, you know Bill's going to show up because he knows where I get some of my news from. So, but yeah, so there was a lot to pick from. I mean, I feel like this week has been kind of a dark week in vaping history. Actually, the last couple weeks have been fairly dark. So, I don't want it to be all bad news. I tried to, point out, something a little bit different. This first one that I wanted to talk about is about prisons and smoking. So why is Tim talking about smoking? This is a vaping channel. Why are we even discussing smoking? It was really more about the takeaway from this particular article being that we're in the community that we are in general. But people might be interested to know this. But as of February, the Mississippi State prison system is going to allow the prisoners to start smoking, which it's been banned now in the prison systems in that state for over a decade. But the reason why they're doing this is because they've got a rampant issue. I don't know who that guy is. Get rid of that. Look at all these people. Why do I always get all these websites that are just chock full of garbage that means absolutely nothing? Like, look how far you got to scroll just to get to the article that was 3 paragraphs long.
You probably talked to Bill about that. He supplies you with the news.
No. I mean, we're all this is the Chicago Tribune. This is like a professional newspaper. So you would think that they would keep, all the clickbait crap off of their page, but apparently they like you to click on everything. And it's probably selling advertising. Anyhow, but what they're trying to crack down on primarily is the tobacco that gets smuggled into the prisons and generate a huge tobacco trade and contraband issue within the prisons, right? So, I mean, it's expensive. I mean, these prisoners are spending up to $500 for a pound of smuggled tobacco into the systems. And so it's kind of like a threefold, fourfold issue. So currently, anybody caught with contraband tobacco in the system gets denied early release, things of that nature. Then they have to go to a tribunal and all this other stuff. So what they want, and they're also saying that it puts the the employees at risk because they have to enforce this policy. So you're creating interaction between the guards and the prisoners to confiscate these particular items. So they're trying to reduce risk. And also, too, they have had issues with the prison guards just sort of turning a blind eye. So what they're trying to do is sort of normalize the situation. So they're going to create outdoor smoking areas where the prisoners can smoke outside, or inmates, whatever you prefer to call them. And it will also remove the smoking from within the prison so that people who don't smoke aren't subjected to all that secondhand smoke and stuff like that. The cigarettes will be basically available in the canteen. They can buy them at street price, so whatever the current going price for a pack of smokes is in Mississippi is basically what the prisoners will be able to buy, pay for them. But what they're saying is by doing this, they'll end the contraband issues that are going on in the prison. It'll also create a cleaner air system for prisoners who don't smoke. And then they hope that by they hope that it's able to recoup some of the tax dollars to us, the taxpayers, because they won't need to have all these. They won't have to conduct all these enforcements, right? So they have to basically sit the prisoner down and read him his charges, and then they have to go through all this. So it'll lighten the clerical load. And then what they're also saying is that profits from the prison tobacco sales will be used to buy vocational tools, simulators to provide education for prisoners in trucking, welding, oil and pipeline work. Additionally, they'll also be used to pay for remedial courses so inmates can get their high school diplomas. So all that is good in a way, but I thought the reason why I found this article a little interesting to talk about it was that one of my big takeaways is that vaping was completely absent from the conversation, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, here we are in a community where we're trying to promote a healthier way of life and get away from cigarettes. Yet they're going to go ahead and make this viable product for prisoners. Now, should they be denied those things? Who's to say? I mean, I don't plan on ever ending up in a place like that. But I just thought that vaping should have been somewhere on the forefront. I think I read an article maybe it was a couple years ago, but maybe you guys remember. There was a guy who introduced vaping into the prison system. He had created like a blue type cigarette device that he he was selling to prisons to give to the prisoners to try to get them off of smoking or give them a healthier alternative to smoking. But I think one of the things that stood out, and maybe why vaping doesn't have as much of a voice in this particular issue, is because of the batteries and things that go with these devices, and how the prisoners could use them to their advantage, because they can be a little crafty. So, but it would have been nice to see that vaping could have been offered as an alternative, because not only are these prisoners going to be able to get cigarettes, but they can get cigars as well as smokeless tobacco products. So I find it a little ironic that they're going to go ahead and allow this to minimize a contraband issue, but at the same in the same breath, they're going to go ahead and allow them access to something that is very harmful and not healthy and potentially deadly for them. So that was just my takeaway in it. I'm not at all interested or care so much.
They're not going to be able to smoke in their cells, though.
No, they said the smoking will be in outdoor designated areas. So I guess depending on your level of security, because you've got some that are in general population who have rec time and they can go out a little bit more often. And then you've got the ones that are like in lockdown 23 hours a day and they only get like 1 hour out. So I don't know how convenient it is for those guys to even get contraband tobacco, but I'm sure the guards sneak it in and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, not that interesting of an article, but I just, I care about vaping so much that you like to see it get inserted into any situation where smoking is prevalent, and that you could offer people a way to get it. Because maybe there are some guys sitting there in jail, that smoke, and they're like, man, I wish I could vape. Maybe they vaped on the outside before they got on the inside. So anyway, that was the first one.
Pack of cigarettes.
All right, let's move on to the second one. This one's a little bit more interesting.
Can you hear me?
And again, a lot more clickbait.
Tim can't hear me.
Good Lord.
I can
what
hear
is
you.
On these pages? I didn't even want to stop on that.
I think,
All right,
I think,
so this
I think
one
Tim
is
world
about
again.
Rand Paul. I know he comes with a lot of mixed reviews in terms of who he is as a senator. Some people are kind of in his corner. I think if everybody remembers when we were first getting ready to go through with the federal flavor ban, and they were having the congressional sort of hearings and stuff, he was one of the outspoken ones that sat down and was not in favor of the flavor bans that were being talked about, because he expressed concerns over overreacting to the issues that were in the news at that time, which was the Valley cases that were happening, which kind of spurred a lot of a lot of the controversy. They were conflating the two issues. They were kind of trying to say that it was the flavored e-liquid that was potentially one of the causes for the E-Valley cases, when we all know that wasn't true. So that said, I think he was in our corner. At least his opinion was in our corner at that time. And so I think a lot of people lauded him for that, because he thought that it was a knee-jerk reaction to the ban. But this is something he does every year. He has this thing that he puts out called the Festivus Report. And if people aren't familiar with what Festivus is, it's basically a secular kind of man-made holiday. It doesn't really. It's not anything that you get the day off of work for. You don't get the day off of work for Festivus. But it's something that happens every year. So this is his 6th iteration, and the point of this. Well, I guess I should back up and say that one of the elements of celebrating Festivus, beyond feats of strength and some of these other elements, is that they have this thing called the Airing of Grievances. So the airing of grievances, I guess, in some forms would be, things that pissed you off over the course of the year. His airing of grievances address federal spending. And so what he likes to bring to the table are some of the sort of wasteful ways that the federal government, the federal government gives money to organizations as part of their spending package. So Congress just recently passed a massive $2.3 trillion spending package, which is kind of what we're all familiar with as the omnibus. And that's kind of what we're dealing with in the current event situation. And so that money is doled out to different organizations based on these budgets that they request or require that they have in order to conduct studies and things of that. It's not always studies, but most of it kind of tethers back to studies. And so in the airing of the grievances, he notes that the spending was 50% higher this year than last year, and our public debt is sort of sitting at a monstrosity of about $387 billion. So what he tries to bring out is sort of the hypocrisy in the spending, because some of the money that's spent just goes to like ludicrous, dumb things. My opinion on this is that it's all about federal budgets, right? So these organizations, we don't have to name anybody specific, but organizations that receive money from the federal government get an allotted amount every year, which they call the budget. And they won't get that same amount of money the following year and or more if they don't spend it. So they might be spending some of this money, spending some money on some things that just don't quite make a lot of sense. And I have the Festivus Report sitting here, so we're going to touch on some things. But at any rate, his report identifies $54.7 billion and what he sees, and I think you would see, as wasted spending, basically totally wasted money. But that $54.7 billion, and I think this is important because people should see where our taxpayer dollars go. That money could have funded the Treasury Department for 3 years. 3 full years, we could have funded the federal Treasury. The Department of Housing and Development for up to 6 months, or theoretically, it could have bought everybody in the country a 40-inch television, basically. So, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I mean, with stimulus money or not, the government's not going to buy everybody a 40-inch TV. But it was just a relativity aspect. As a matter of fact, the debt number, $387 billion, or maybe it was the 54.7. They said if you laid it out in $1 bills, that it would reach around the planet. Let me find the comment. It would reach around the globe 1,506 times. So basically, it's a ton of money.
Yeah.
So the report is kind of varying in terms of what it touches on and actually what he kind of calls into question. So, for example, one example is $1.3 million was spent to determine if people would knowingly eat ground up bugs. So I don't know how that works, but somebody's spending $1.3 million on eating ground up bugs, or seeing if people will eat ground up bugs. the one that I really wanted to kind of bring up more importantly is that one organization, the NIH, the National Institutes for Health, spent almost $1 million. $896,000 was spent by NIH to have Brown University conduct a study on adolescent smoking, and vaping was included in there. And the claim by Rand Paul is that they were giving them cigarettes. I don't. Now, to back that up, I can't substantiate that claim. But I'll talk about the project in particular. It was called Project Siren, I think it was what it was called, and we'll go over it. But I wanted to bring up the Festivus report so we can take a look at basically. Let me zoom this in a little bit.
I think Bill put.
Yeah, I have to unplug and replug in. Hold on one second, John. I'm talking and I know you guys can hear me, but I can't hear you. So hold on.
Hello.
Is it working now?
Is it working? Can you hear?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I can hear you, but it's all squelchy, so as long as you guys can hear me.
Me, that's all that matters. Or does Brian have some voice thing on?
There you go. No, you're good
All
now.
right, cool. All right, so
You had some voice thing going that was weird.
I used to have a headset that you could do that with. It had like the chipmunk and the robot and all that stuff. Anyhow,
I had you, and that's what you sounded like.
The links are the ones that Bill posted on there for this report as well, or do we have a different link, or is it the
for what?
The Festivus report.
Yep, no, he's got it in the Facebook chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can throw it in the private chat, Brian. You can share it off. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Perfect.
All right. So this, if you guys want to peruse the Festivus report, feel free.
There's some shit in there, guys.
Yeah. So I mean, let's go over a few things. It's wide ranging, so I don't want to touch on every little stupid thing. But I mean, he talks about the waste of 2020, the Festivus 2020, the top 10. And he just kind of identifies, numbers, right? Because, I mean, this is your money, right? We give all this money to the federal government. They collect it from us, and then they issue it out for, what's supposed to be good causes. So, I mean, out of whatever was totally given out, he identified $54.7 billion that he sees as wasteful spending. So let's get into it. All right. So in the healthcare sector, this one actually contained a few that I thought should be highlighted, right? But yeah, look, $1.3 million for a study to see if you'll eat ground up bugs. This is the National Institutes of Health and the National Institute of, I don't know what the FA stands for. And if anybody knows what FA stands for, let me know.
I don't know.
$36 million on why stress makes your hair turn gray.
Oh my! How much?
$36.8 million.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Yeah,
it's well spent money.
Yeah, and then NIH also used $6.9 million used in cancer research money to create a smart toilet.
Oh God!
So that one actually pisses me off.
Yeah, how much smarter does a toilet need to be than it is already?
I think maybe you should be curing cancer and not creating smart toilets. The two have nothing to do with each other. Yeah. So here's the one where he identifies the NIH saying giving cigarettes to adolescent kids, and I'm going to talk about that at the very bitter end here. Then there was $3.4 million sent messages to moms to stop their teenage girls from indoor tanning. NIH sent messages to moms. This is advertising.
Yeah.
Look at the one right below, too.
Yeah, don't let your kids get cancer from tanning too much.
Yeah, don't see it.
But there was another one in here.
Deeming World Deals with Us funded alleged.
Yeah, right here. Funded it. Yeah, so $31.5 million were funded in an allegedly faked study linking cigarettes to heart attacks. I don't know about you. Has anyone ever met a vapor who's had a heart attack? Well, I mean, maybe some people have had it, but not from vaping.
Not from vaping.
Not from vaping. Maybe eating poorly or pre-existing conditions, but definitely not from vaping.
Yeah, eating 3-4 pounds of bacon a day.
That'll do it to you. Here you go. 2 million were spent in tested if hot tubbing can lower your stress.
Tell you what,
That one, I want to be. I want to sign up for that one.
send me a hot tub. I'll let y'all know if it lowers my stress.
3.9 was spent helps justify the FDA's deeming rule. They spent 3 million. The NIH spent 3 million to justify the deeming rule. That's true. But it goes on and on and on. I mean, you can get into the ridiculousness of it all. But it's funny to see how much money.
Hold on. Walked lizards on a treadmill?
Yeah.
What?
So the national whatever 1.5 spent on walking lizards on a treadmill.
Wow.
So Bill is saying the retracted study. Which one, Bill? The FDA deeming rule was retracted,
No,
or
I think you meant
the heart attack
the
one?
fake study.
Yeah, and we all know Stanton Glantz is a quack anyway.
Yeah.
Well, look at this: 3.5 trillion waited for years on delinquent undelivered orders.
The VA.
Yeah, waited for years on delinquent undelivered orders. It's unreal where our money goes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much better good that this money could be spent on. So if you're interested in seeing where your money goes, where your taxpayer dollars go, and where you'd like it to go, like maybe my takeaway in all this is why isn't there an organization that would take some of this money to try to put efforts into studying the long-term effects of vaping and trying to find the health benefits in it, rather than spend it on garbage science studies that try to wreck
lizards on a treadmill?
How much money did they spend on lost drones in Afghanistan?
Where are you seeing? Oh, lost drones over. This is the Department of Defense. They spent 174 million on lost drones over Afghanistan. Now, that may be more beneficial in the long run. I don't want to get into politics here, but I'm saying that's military equipment and it contains secret stuff. So, I mean, if anybody knows anything about the military, like if you're in a combat zone and a helicopter goes down and you're not going to be able to get it back, they blow it up. The boys blow it up so that the bad guys don't get the intelligence that's on it. So,
right.
Scroll
down into miscellaneous. Let's see what fun stuff is there.
19
I was reading one. It said bought COVID test tubes, but received unusable soda water.
Wow.
Anyhow, it's a pretty crazy list, but there were some items in there that were targeted at us, or not
directly at vapors, yes.
Yeah, or indirectly. So, I mean, while we're on the chopping block for getting ready to lose vaping, and yet you've supposedly got Brown University conducting a study. Now, here, I'm going to bring it up right here. It's called Project Siren. Let me zoom this in. So I did some legwork on it to try to figure out, because there were some people who were like, no, Brown University didn't give kids cigarettes or anything like that. They didn't, they didn't. And I'm like, well, how do you know? You know what I mean? I mean, because they were just trying to kind of call Rand Paul a pathological liar. You can believe that if you want to. But I'm like, but clearly he got this information from somewhere. So, did he really make it up? But so I even went to the horse's mouth. I actually went on Twitter and asked them to defend the claim, but I have not heard back from them. So I don't know if silence is complicity, but they probably aren't going to answer that question. So here's Project Siren. So the study is interested in the effects that cigarettes containing lower levels of nicotine may have on teen smoking behavior. They want teen smokers between the ages of 15 and 20. They can earn up to $523 for attending 5 different study sessions. If they're younger than 18, they got to have a parent's note. And then they can get you to the study session. So you have to go to the university or wherever they want you to go, the lab.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What's the legal age to be a smoker in this country?
Not in that age range that they named.
Yeah, not in that age range.
Right. So federally, it's 21 plus, right?
In most states, it's 21 or older.
Right. So
So how are they getting away with this?
that is the. I
Where's the
mean,
legal enforcement here? Because this is clearly breaking the law.
yeah, and I'm on board with you and Tom in that sentiment. We just don't know what they're doing or what the study consists of. So, I mean, I don't know where Rand is getting his information from. I tried to find out. It doesn't appear to me that this study has been completed or any papers have been put out in terms of what the study sets were and how they were conducting the tests. Why do kids between 15 and 20 years old need to travel to a college 5 times to
Yeah.
conduct a study on the effects of those lower nicotine cigarettes on their system? So they're clearly obtaining illegal products that are illegal for them to even have.
Yep.
Now, and granted, kids are going to do what kids are going to do. I mean, they're going to get their hands on it regardless of whether or not it's illegal or not. But the point is that they're knowingly sort of endorsing these kids who are breaking the law to come into their facility and provide them with effects of lower nicotine cigarettes on their system. So how are you going to garner those results in a 5-trip study unless they're smoking right in front of you or going outside to smoke?
Right.
So that they can see, because the nicotine clearly has to have an immediate effect. So they're gonna put them through cursory testing, like, I don't know, putting blocks, in a square or something. So, with that said, I mean, if you really want to see the effects of nicotine on the system, you have to see them in real time. They can't be anecdotal. That's not going to provide you with viable study data to push out. Now, do I put anybody past taking anecdotal data and using it as a negative slant on vaping or what the effects of nicotine are on the system in the youth? So further ban vaping and all that other stuff. There's a lot that needs to be questioned here.
Yeah.
And I tweeted about this, and I got a bunch of little naysayers in my tweets and retweets talking about, oh, Rand Paul's a pathological liar. Oh, like he really cares about federal spending. Brown University didn't give kids cigarettes. You guys will buy into anything this guy says. I'm
There's
like, no.
proof right there.
Yeah. So I mean, you show me in this. I mean, you can even go further down. They even have a little thing that they push out. It doesn't say anywhere, we're not going to give you cigarettes, kids. We just want to know what the effects are on your system because you decided to take on this horrible habit. So why aren't they using lab rats and mice taped to a machine with a tube in their face, making them suck down lower nicotine cigarettes? So whether they physically hand those children cigarettes or not, the kids are going to have to walk in there with them. So they're facilitating and aiding, or what's the word I'm looking for? They're contributing, but they're enabling these kids to continue this. I don't know why they're actually taking
smokers.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, and they're making $87 each time they show up.
Yeah, which is good jewel money at the convenience store. Yeah. So that's
$87.
By the way, it's $5.47 a pack for a pack of cigarettes in Mississippi.
No, that's true, Bill. Bill brings up a good point. Is that all of the success stories that people put out there? Like you see, like the 65-year-old guy on Twitter doing a video talking about how he smoked for 52 years. And now he quit. After he's been vaping for 2-3 years, and it's basically saved his life. The people will call that anecdotal, but then they'll let some kid represent the Truth Initiative or Tobacco Free Kids or whatever all these different organizations are, and they let them get up in front of Congress, in front of audiences, and read these scripts. I'm not going to say these kids wrote them in their own words, but they let them speak on behalf of represent these organizations. So they're basically propping up a kid who knowingly broke the law and did something they shouldn't have been doing in the first place to try to fearmonger everybody into being like, oh, it ruined my teenage life. Now I can't run in track because I was vaping jewels all day long. Whatever. So I mean, it's a little infuriating. Bill had a really good article on it. I didn't bring that one in. I was trying to kind of I don't know. It's so hard not to bring up the negative stuff because there just seems to be so much of it. But anyway, the Festivus report was beneficial. But if people feel like following up on this Project Siren and getting some details on it,
Give
feel
Jasmine
free.
a call for more.
Yeah, call Jasmine directly
Right
and
there.
ask her to lay out. Let's have Jasmine on the show and say, Jasmine. No, I don't want Jasmine on the show. I'll email them. How about that? I'll send an email tomorrow, and I'll try to get full details and say that you're currently being, propagated up as handing kids cigarettes. But here's my issue with a lot of that, though. Are we going to really get the truth?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she can say whatever she wants. Oh, no, we're not giving kids cigarettes. What would make you think that? We don't know what you're doing, and we don't even know how slanted your study results are going to be. So, it's little. It pisses me off. That's all I'll say. All right, let's move on to the biggest one and the last one. All right, and I think everybody is well aware of this. I actually didn't even make any particular notes in regard to this. So this is the thing that's kind of been out there and been floating around for the last 4 days. I honestly didn't even know that it had been live for 4 days. It's being shared on pages. What's up, Dan boy? Or Dan, is that an I? Yeah, it is. I
Yes,
see the
that's an I.
little separation. So this is a petition on the We the People website. So this is a petition that's effectively trying to gather signatures for the sake of getting legislators to listen to us and how sort of upset we are at our access via the postal service in the omnibus bill, access to our products. It's going to cause prices to go up. So, I mean, we all know that the omnibus finally got signed the other day, that we're on the docket to lose USPS within the next 90 days. FedEx is going to follow not far behind in March 2021. So let's just
March
call that
1st.
90 days as well on them. And then on top of that, UPS is still there, but they do signature verification on the delivery. And if they start absorbing all these clerical needs, it's possible that they may not want to be the martyr carrier that's out there standing strong and carrying vape products. So I think the general consensus is UPS won't be far behind in stopping and carrying these products, and we already know the ramifications of that. However, there's a petition that was started by JD. I don't know who JD is. But we, the people, apparently we only need 100,000 signatures to garner a response from the White House. Whether that is a form response, I don't know. But it doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to turn anything around. I only want to call light to the fact that in California, SB 793 was on the table for a full-on vaping flavor ban in California. And granted, there was some money behind it. They were able to suspend the vaping ban on a referendum, effectively, to pause that ban until 2022 in November for a public vote on whether or not there would be a flavor ban. Now, they still have to go through a process right now of validating all these signatures because anybody can sign these things. So they have to be valid signatures. I don't know how long it would take to monitor 1 million signatures, but this petition is out there. I'm not saying it's going to result in the effective reversal of this, but it could get some ears listening to the general public. So 4 days later, if you look at the numbers, and it's hard to see down here because it's really tiny, but
34.
Yeah, it's only 1,734 signatures. And you would think that 100,000 would be an easy number to reach. I mean, we have millions of vapors in the United States.
It should be an easy number to reach.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with petitions like this. Like I've had discussions with people before about people saying, petitions don't work. I was sent a bunch of them, nothing happened to them, whatever. But the thing is, though, like as he was saying before, we need 100,000 at least, bare minimum. Everything over that is going to really help our cause.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you a few minutes to,
It opens
not even a few minutes, 30 seconds maybe, to get your name in there in the hat and put it through there. Like you said, we do. I'm pretty sure that they do have to verify all the signatures. So even the 100,000, maybe there's some duplicates in there. So, let's I encourage everyone just to do it. Just, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Right. Yeah, so I don't want to get into, my strong feelings, but I mean, this is now being pushed around in a lot of the vape groups out on Facebook and stuff like that, and it's been met with sort of like a mixed reaction, um, from some a little bit more aggressive than others. There's been some controversial conversation surrounding it, but it is painting a really sort of interesting picture for me in the vaping community. And the only reason I say that is because, I mean, we've all got different stances on, how we feel about everything that's going down. There are those who are just resigned to it happening and they'll figure out a way to survive, or they'll go back to smoking or whatever. But being that I tend to sit on the advocacy side of things, I believe in fighting. So in these threads that you're seeing on Facebook, and I'm certainly not denying anybody their particular opinion, but I just think that it's a little counterproductive to the effort. Whether or not you think petitions are beneficial in any way, shape, or form, you have that right. You reserve the right, and have your prerogative to say that they won't work and you don't believe in them, and that's fine. Don't sign it. I mean, if you think that it's not going to help, I mean, it's a 5-second effort to sign it anyway. So even if it doesn't move mountains, you can at least have that conversation with me and say, well, I did this or I did that, or I did all the calls to action. I signed all the petitions. I did everything. And we can sit there and lament that they didn't do much. But to come out of the gate and say, oh, petitions don't work, they're a waste of time, they're never going to get anybody to do anything, it just makes you feel good for a little bit of time. Look, and that's fine. I respect your opinion. But you're hurting our opportunity to motivate people to join the fight, because they're just going to throw in the towel before we even have a chance, if we don't at least try. But I would much rather have a conversation with someone who tried and did something about it and can say, hey, I got my voice out there. I didn't exactly pick up the phone and call my legislator, but I did sign that petition and I did follow through with the calls to action. So if we look back and we can say we tried, then that's the conversation I want to have with somebody, and we can figure out, maybe what we could have done differently. But to have a conversation with somebody that didn't do anything because they just thought that it was all for naught, and that they're just gonna let it let it be passe, and just let it go, bothers me. And that I can't have that conversation with you, because I'm in here. I'm in the corner of fight. Any trick in the hat I can use to get my voice out there, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
Whether it succeeds or it fails. But we won't know if it succeeds or fails if we just don't do it. So we're not asking much in this particular case. And I did some research. I looked up, are petitions effective? I tried to find out some information. And one guy brought out brought up some good points. But they say that they're not always an 100% guarantee, which I can understand. But at the same time, they have been known to play an influence. They are your voice. If they see 350,000 or 400,000 signatures on a petition, that means people are speaking up. They're pissed off. And your only other recourse beyond not doing anything is to then vote these people out. Yep. Don't vote for people that don't have your best interests at heart. And that's fine. We all have that luxury as United States citizens to vote, and vote for who supports our cause. But I think in a particular case like vaping, and we kind of know that the light is pretty focused on us right now. We got to take every chance we can. So I just encourage you that if you see these posts out on the pages, and you're one who tends to fall in the corner of they don't do anything, then can you just keep that opinion to yourself, and at least let the people who have some spirit for them continue forward. And this is not a hack on anybody who just doesn't believe in petitions. I'm just saying we're trying to garner support, and when the negativity comes out, it doesn't really help at all. It just causes people to turn away and be like, oh, screw it, I'm not going to take the... I think some people were commenting, it's like 20 seconds. You put your first name, your last name, your email address, you hit the button, and then you go to your email, and they send you a link that says confirm your signature. That's it. Yes, that's all you have to do.
Your signature, guys. That's the you can, if you're gonna take the time to fill that thing out, and basically autofill's doing it anyway. you make sure you go and confirm that email address, you guys.
Yeah.
There it is, kids.
And don't say that this doesn't apply to you because you DIY. It's not about that. It's about helping the smoker try to quit smoking.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
it's
for everybody else, it's not just about the DIY person.
Right.
That
because
really cheeses my grits.
yeah, and to me, I mean, we all there's so many different facets to the vaping community. I mean, yeah, we've got the shops and we have the DIYers and we've got the B&Ms and we got the online vendors and we've got all that. You got to stop parsing out the differentials that make up the vaping community. And any, I mean, there's a bill, through what 300 million of us that, well, maybe not more than half, that drink different beers, and we can sit there and have the taste great, less filling, taste great, less filling. We can have that argument all day long. I mean, there's always variations of people in every thing, every little niche, it shouldn't matter. Those differentials shouldn't matter. What should matter is the cause. What is at stake here? And somehow, inherently, I don't care, as we lose vaping, it's going to impact everyone. It's going to impact the B&Ms, the disties. It's going to impact the vendors. It's going to impact you. It's going to impact your friends, your family. Think about the people.
DIY crowd.
Exactly. And think about the people that potentially will go back to smoking because of that. They had a chance to spend time with their families and live a healthier life, and now they're going to be frustrated and go back to smoking because, let's face it, not everybody can just quit. It's a willpower thing. So again, I'm not trying to lecture. I'm just saying I think the petitions are beneficial if we can get voices in there.
It's legitimately the easiest thing you can do for advocacy.
Right.
It's right there.
Yep. And it's really a no effort thing. So anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox.
And then you can go back to your hand checks and desk checks and all that other crap.
Yep. So again, it's important, people. I mean, that's all we're trying to say is it's important. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox for the evening. That was your news. Noteless. Well, it wasn't noteless entirely, but it was mostly noteless.
For the papers.
Mostly noteless. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Wow, I didn't know there were so many people watching, Tim.
I know, that was amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's crazy. It's crazy.
No applause, just throw money.
Now, every vote, every
Nick is right.
Every not just vote, but every petition that's signed, they see those numbers, guys. And if they see 1,500, 1,600 a month from now, and that's it, they're just going to feel like we don't care. But if they see the 100,000 is met and more, that opens eyes up, guys. People look at that. You bet any time, Mr. Nick, because Florida's done it right. And like we said on this show, I think every other state should
we should all become Florida.
Read your handbook. Get that handbook. Talk to the people in Florida. Talk to the Florida Smoke Free Association. Ask them how they got it done. I mean, the system that they had over there and the way they took care of it, it just only makes sense. Get involved. Know who your congressmen. Know who your lobbyists are. Get out there. Fight for it, guys, or otherwise it's gone, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way it's looking right now, it's looking like it's gone. So
it's scary. It's scary.
Well, petitions, call into people.
I got one thing I want to say that I've noticed, and maybe it's just my friends, but I posted something a couple weeks ago on my Facebook page, and I think people that were anti-vaping kind of opened their eyes a little bit, because basically what I said is, could you imagine our government going after cigarettes like they did with vaping? And it's just like, why? Why is vaping worse than cigarette smoking? And why is our government focusing so much attention on vaping and not getting rid of cigarettes altogether? This philosophy is like, it's like, okay, let's get rid of menthol. No. Why just menthol? Get rid of all of it, not just menthol. What? So I'm not going to make this a race thing. So what? Colored people are the only ones that matter? So let's stop colored people from smoking menthol cigarettes, but let's kill all the white people so they can keep smoking regular cigarettes. I mean, is that what they're saying? I mean, to me, that's like what they're saying. The regular cigarettes are fine. Let's get rid of menthols because menthols are killing people of color in these neighborhoods. But
Yeah, it's all convoluted. I think really the bottom line here is it's all about the flavors, and they're trying to facilitate their argument around that base conversation, in that it is about flavors and that it is an attractant in some way, shape, or form to leading to that addiction. They think if something tastes bad, you're not going to want it. Well, I got news for you. You know, I was smoking filterless Camels in high school, and I can promise you, when you get a wet friggin' butt in your mouth and tobacco shavings on your tongue, it doesn't taste that good.
Yeah.
But you're friggin' doing it. You're still gonna do it, and so they are way off base, and they're using a false flag to try to justify the whole entire thing, and then they lay it on the backs of the kids and say that if kids love flavors. So if we take away the flavors, then the kids won't want it.
Well, then let's take away all the flavors of everything.
Yeah. Let's make ice cream just taste like air. And let's make fruit juices taste like water from the tap.
Yeah, water.
And
plain bread, nothing. No flavors, no nothing.
Yeah. Now, the whole system doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it's just for me, the battle that the money and the battle they're putting into killing vaping makes absolutely no sense. And I think a lot of people are starting to, maybe it's just my friends are starting to realize that, wait, this kind of doesn't make any sense. Why are they going after vaping so strongly, but they're not looking at cigarettes, they're not looking at underage drinking, they're not looking at heroin use in high school and opiates and stuff like that.
We still have an opioid pandemic going on too.
But their focus is on vaping.
Yeah, and another irony thing. So I mean, I'm not naming names, but I mean, I was in one particular group when a guy created a post about this petition, and he was sort of identifying the fact that there were not. 3 days later, the petition only had like 800 signatures, and then there was some back and forth, and I made a comment to the contrary. That's not to his contrary, but I made a comment that said that I just couldn't seem to understand why people weren't motivated to sign this particular petition. We can't get the support for the advocacy when it's something so easy. I said, it's like those people that just have a car that the car has a funny noise, like a knocking and a pinging going on, and then if you just ignore it, it'll just go away. Yeah. And then this guy got into this back and forth, and he said, you haven't lost support for vaping. He said his point is that there are more pressing issues that people are concerned about, and that vaping is just effectively a blip on the radar. Okay, well, I'm going to call into question your statement, because he identified COVID specifically as being the alternative issue for why vaping isn't important. People are more worried about COVID than they are about vaping, and that was his argument why the petition is a waste of time and blah 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 blah. And I'm going to call into question his statement and say, well, apparently the government doesn't think so. Yeah. If COVID was such an issue, they wouldn't even be touching vaping. Yeah. They'd be on. The focus would be 100% on COVID and eradicating it. But no, they're deciding to slip silly little bills in on the back. They're not silly. Like sliding shit in on the omnibus.
Putting projects in.
Yeah, to ban vaping. So I mean, you can't tell me that with people the issues are pressing when Congress clearly is saying, well, that one's important too. Let's ban vape, ban USPS from carrying vape products because of the kids.
Well, they absolutely knew that if they tried to push that bill through, it was going to get vetoed by Trump. So they figured, hey, last minute, it's Christmas, the session's over. Let's sneak this in here with
throw all the shit in that's just been sitting.
Yeah, I mean, they pulled in New York. I mean, that's what Cuomo did there in New York, right? He snuck that there on the budget end of it, so no one's going to fight it. They just slide it through.
That's the same thing that they try to do in Florida, I think it was, where they try to put a vape ban on like an abortion bill.
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, Nick could comment
Nick,
to that.
Nick would probably comment on that, but
Offshore
was-
oil drilling too. They
Yeah.
sneak
Yeah.
it in.
But I mean, but the thing that I find I mean, I know that when you do that, you kind of paint people into a particular corner. And correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I don't know, maybe I kind of got a little bit of this out of like what happened last week when when Trump basically kind of called out the omnibus bill, and he wanted more money for everybody in the relief checks, and he was upset about the money going out to a bunch of different countries. But did he lose? Did presidents? Because it can't just be him. Did presidents now lose the ability to line item veto particular things? He said he redlined some things that he suggested be removed, and apparently even those suggestions can be completely ignored by Congress when it goes back.
I think with him,
He officially signed the bill, so
No, but hold on.
go ahead.
I think with him being who he is and the fact that the other side does not like him at all, they aren't going to do a damn thing to help him.
Yeah, and he's
No,
out
no,
in a couple weeks.
So
no. But my question is this:
he can line item if he can do a line item veto. They're just going to go back and get the votes that they need to overturn it anyways.
Yeah, well, I thought that line item vetoes, so those are not final. Even if he has that ability to line item veto specific things, that holds no weight at all.
Not really.
All right. A lot I know about politics. I don't. Honestly, this is probably the first time in my entire life in the last handful of years that I actually really invested and put time into following politics.
And now you're in your 50s and you're pissed off.
I'm in my 50s. I'm pissed off about politics, and I'm a homeowner.
And then we're all
I rented for years, going, oh, I don't need to buy a house. If the water heater breaks, they'll fix it. I don't have to pay for that shit, And now here I am, a homeowner, going, please, water heater, don't break. Please, water heater, don't break.
Yeah, water heaters are expensive.
So that is your news.
That is the news with Tim, and I think Brian, you got some stuff for us tonight, right?
Yeah.
Here, I haven't got to use this one, so you ready?
Sure.
Oh, we get it. With the misspelled Brian.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we got to still get that fixed.
So I've been trying out a thing. Well, I haven't officially tried it out yet. I got a thing. I didn't want to use it. I want to show everybody the thing. It's nothing like super impressive.
Don't show us your thing.
But what it is, it's this little Fupu RTA. Come on, camera, do your thing.
Do your thing.
RTA.
Pod tank.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the interesting part of it. It's all magnetic, so you can just pop it off. It's magnetic on the bottom. That's where you fill it.
Is this the PNP pod tank?
No, it's not that I know of. It's just by Vapepresso.
Okay.
This actually, so it's very interesting. So this part is all magnetic, and this is your 510 connection. Okay. Mm-hmm. Airflow control, that's all the bottom part is. Now the top part, it unscrews. It's a glass cap. It unscrews. And then on the inside, you have your build deck.
Deck.
Okay.
That is a great build.
So, right. So you got your cap, which your liquid all surrounds that, and it dips underneath like an RTA and pulls up.
Okay.
Your liquid surrounds everything. The interesting part about this is actually made to go with their mod. So this part will actually fit inside their mod. And hey, listen.
We are. Go ahead.
Yes. So this actually goes in the Rupo Drag S mod. So this can actually fit inside there, and you use it with their own mod too.
Oh,
it's kind of actually really interesting. I'll show you a picture of that mod.
Rebuildable PNP. Yes.
Yeah, it's actually interesting to me. It's kind of intriguing. And how it works, and like,
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And like, I looked at it, I'm like, what is this? Why do I have it?
Why do I have
right. So I've been just trying to figure this out and how it came to be and like how it sits and all that stuff. I'll show you a few pictures here. Here's the Drag S. So it's their little pod mod system.
Okay, so this is a Vupu product, not Vaporesso.
Yeah, Vupu.
Yeah, you said Vaporesso earlier, so I got thrown off there a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, no.
Okay,
Vupu.
your fault.
Yep.
It's
I
Vupu.
thought started.
Hey, John didn't make a mistake.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
go ahead.
so
Keep
what-
going, bro.
What you're talking about is this part right here. Okay,
Right.
this is their tank part with their coil in it.
Yeah.
This you can put inside the base that I just showed you and use it on another mod.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Apparently, Nick says it's amazing.
Yeah, I have not tried the tank part yet. I've heard a lot of good things, but I'm gonna try this first and give it a try and see how it works. It is 26 millimeters across, and it comes in a couple of different colors.
So it's like 26 at the base, and it looks like it might be about 28 in the middle.
Yeah, because it's got that little bubble around it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's 2 mil capacity, which for some people is kind of going to be a bummer, but it is compliant. So it comes. This is all it comes with. This is all the stuff I got in my package too. Got your tank, got your coil, cotton, screws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's kind of what I showed you how it presents itself.
It looks like a pretty easy deck. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
size coil in there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Like so I'm gonna
Put a big old fatty in there, Brian. Put like a fatty
Yes.
sweeter
and
in
I'm
it.
gonna try it with different coils and see how it like performs and see how I like it. I am worried about the 2 mil capacity. I'm very intrigued about the compatibility of the products because I do like that. And I do like the versatility of different things nowadays, which
Yeah.
I find really interesting. And just
So the mouthpiece, though, is more designed for mouth to lung, though, correct? It's not going to be, you couldn't put like a small.
Not with a
That
point
looks
two.
like DTL almost to me. It looks like at least a 510.
yeah,
An
so
8.
this one's designed for DL.
Yeah.
Okay.
direct lung.
Their tank, the PMP tank, it's also designed for multi-lung with a different coil in it.
Right. So the coil will dictate whether you're MTL or DL.
Right.
Right. See, so you got 0.3 and a 0.2.
Okay.
So 40-60 and 32-40. I mean, you could easily use a 32-40 at very low wattage and still use them all long.
Is that the only 2 coils that work in that particular tank? Or do
From
they have
what
other offerings?
From what I've seen right now, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna play around and see if there's anything else that works for it. But right now, from what I've seen, certain people, I'm kind of curious about like the Lost Vape coils because they do look very similar, but I think they're gonna be slightly bigger up top. But it kind of reminds me of that a bit. So I find it really interesting.
So that tank that you had in your hand with the build deck on it, is this a separate type of pod that only takes pre-mades? Or is it the exact same tank? It just depends on how it works in there. I don't know, because that deck looked big. It's not like a RBA.
Okay, so this one is just made for the RDA part.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that
that's an
one you
RBA.
buy, yeah. Got you.
And then you have a coil tank.
Okay, so they're 2 separate tank applications.
Yeah,
okay,
you can't
gotcha.
take the base out to. Not that I've seen. I can't take the base out to even do anything. So it's. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna actually be playing with this guy for like the next week, and kind of see how it's gonna perform. I expect it to be decent, because the airflow is on the bottom of the coil. This is just a bottom airflow type, RTA. I'm not a big fan of RTAs, as I have said before.
Yeah, we
But
know.
it looks very interesting to me and how it works and how it. The only thing I've noticed so far that is a little buggy to me is how it pops up and pops in.
Yeah.
When you turn it, it feels like the 2 metal pieces grind up against each other a little bit.
Yeah.
You can feel it when you turn it.
But
So
that's not your airflow control. It's on the bottom there, so you really don't have a need to do any of what you just did.
Correct.
Just hit it with some 220 grit, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, 1200 grit will be fine too. Not a big deal.
Right.
cool.
But yeah, no, I thought it was really neat and interesting.
That's pretty.
How much you paying for something like that, Brian? So the good kids on the internet can know what they're looking for.
It depends on
Not your price.
which site you go to. But what I've seen them at, it's actually been pretty cheap, like $20.
That's not bad at all.
You know,
You could
So-
also just reach out to Brian on our Twitter, which is right there, and ask him directly.
yeah, absolutely.
Because he wants to be
It
flooded with
won't be
tweets.
for every day for the next 2 weeks. It'd be when I'm off work and before work. Okay.
So you just the normal times you play with your little thing.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes. I'm kind of curious how the glass is gonna be and like how to really clean that too, because it just pops out. But then you got the metal base inside there. I'm not sure if they press fit together or what. Kind of looks like they do.
Hmm.
I'm
What else you got, Brian?
how to clean inside there. So
So are those two pieces permanently connected? That glass dome and the chimney?
from what I see, it looks like some O-rings in the very, very top here.
Yeah, maybe you can just push it out.
That's kind of what I'm curious of. So I'm going to take a look at that. I just don't want to ruin it. So,
Yeah.
so it does looks like some O-rings. I just kind of, my curiosity peaks about cleaning everything. So,
Yep.
so
Except
what
your
I-
desk.
It's important to clean
Yeah.
your thing.
yeah, except my desk.
Yes.
But-
You should have a clean thing.
Yeah, clean your little thing.
I mean, the magnets are pretty strong on this guy. So yeah,
That's what she said.
see how it goes.
I love how I have my sound effects back.
Anyways, the other thing I got was
Oh, here he goes.
I got to find it.
Came in a big box.
My box, because
Ooh.
I got a box like Tim's got.
Oh, yeah.
I got a salt box.
What's in the
I,
box?
I haven't really even opened this yet, so I got it, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait. This is the December box, which is
And you get what type of box do you get for
Need,
the?
need to borrow a knife to open it?
I get the salt box, which is 25 milligram, and I get a few stickers, all the goodie stickers,
Oh my god.
all the different things, all sorts of stuff, all the things that
Shit
come.
ton of stickers, man.
Good gravy. They're cleaning house. They're like, just give them one of those. Just do one
Well,
of
it's-
everyone.
It's like the end of
Just give 'em-
December. I mean, they can only use these for 1 month a year, so.
Yeah, they got to get rid of those Christmas ones.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, just have like 8. So there's a few I got in here. I found them actually really interesting. Like I said, I haven't opened any of these yet. But I got some ones from Nick Saltz.
No pun intended, Nick.
No pun intended.
That is Good Life Vapor, I believe.
I think so. Banana Ice, Ice Baby, and 925.
What are the flavor profiles there?
So those ones, so Banana Ice, I kind of, self-explanatory. Banana and menthol. The 925 is a cappuccino mocha.
Mm.
Turismo?
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu
Tiramisu.
or
Tiramisu.
tiramisu, however you want to say it.
Tiramisu.
So that one's gonna be interesting to me. And then Ice Baby, I expect that one just to be straight mint, which is wintergreen mint.
Yep.
Ice baby.
I'm trying to keep these in the same like ones, so kind of bear with me here. Elysian, I think I've had this one before. Wildfire. And then the wildfire is a pineapple, guava, lychee, mango, menthol.
I mean, I really can't argue with Bill's logic on that one.
Mm-hmm. And then,
Plus, we all go back to being younger.
right?
Yeah. What is that? Locals only salts?
Locals only salts.
Peach cobbler. Is
Peach
that what it said?
It says
You know what?
peach cobbler. I'm pretty sure I know what it is now.
Maybe I shouldn't have put I don't like desserts on my dislikes list. I might not get that one.
That.
Although it does say fruit. I'm all about the fruit. So maybe they'll just disregard the fact that I'm an idiot.
Yeah, it's like
You
it's
could
peach
just
cobbler.
also pick it too,
So
Tim.
that one's gonna be interesting. And then the last one was Black Label Green Jacket. Green Jacket. It's really hard to read because the gold on black, but it's really, really hard to
But
read.
it's not a kid-friendly label, so it's A-okay with us.
Right? Come on. All right. Well,
It looked
camera
too
did-
sophisticated for
right?
kids to like, yeah.
so then that one is the Green Jacket. There it is. The watermelon pear mango.
Mm.
Like a slight like apricot.
Everybody's
fruits.
people throw watermelon and everything now. Every time I turn around, I have watermelons and everything.
And mango.
Just like
Remember when lemon vapes were all the rage? Like everything had lemon in it for like 6
Yes.
months. And like, people got burned out on lemon. I imagine watermelon is going to be like high on the list of like flavors people can't stand anymore.
See, I used to. So with my salts and my pod devices, I used to not like I just don't like mint in my regular devices. But it's weird. I've actually been getting into like a slight mint like aftertaste in them that I'm actually starting to dig. So
That's what she said.
so yeah, that's what I'm going to goof around with for the next week and see what happens and how it leads.
Nice.
Is that it there, Brian?
What else you got?
You don't have anything else hardware related? You're like the hardware king.
Yeah.
I mean,
what else you got?
what else do I have? I have.
This is your segment. Enjoy it.
I have. So one thing I've been kind of eyeing. I've had this for a while. I just haven't opened it. Haven't really played around with it. Is the gas mods GR1? I don't know if any people have actually used it or not. I really like single coil RDAs. So a friend of mine actually gave this to me. He's a dual coil RDA, and I'm a single coil person.
Yeah.
Very simplistic packaging.
Yeah, they got it.
Very, very simple.
Yeah.
Low profile for sure.
I don't think you can find that anymore.
I'm not sure. Like I've been looking around to see if like
That was a Canadian
found.
company, correct?
I believe so.
I think it's a Canadian company.
They probably just threw it across the border to him. Here, Brian, catch.
It just says gasmods.com on it.
Yeah, I think they're from Canada. Isn't it the one that had the kits that came with the different tops and different colors? You could buy you could buy the RDA.
Oh, I know the one you're talking of. Start with a B.
Is that? Yeah, I might be thinking them mixing up them with gas
That's how
mods.
small that is.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like
it's,
that.
It's like a Goon LP or a dot mod low profile.
Yeah.
Hear that boom outside of my house?
No.
Sounds like a transformer went out. I've got power still.
So this one's got me a little worried a little bit because it does have really. Come on, camera, focus.
Clamp style.
Yeah, no, it's got 4 screws, one big clamp. Like it's not a clamp. It's got 4 screws on it.
Yeah.
So you can go either way with your leads.
Yep.
That's the point, right? So depending on which way your leads are going, you can go. You can't get it wrong.
Right. And then it's got the bottom airflow that shoots up, which I also like too. But it does look a little bit more restrictive inside there. So that's going to have me worried a little bit too. But it's going to be a fun one to play around with to see. I mean, I really like the smaller RDAs. They're they're a little easier to bring around. Super. Come on, camera.
Nice
All
looking.
right. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna be playing around with those. I mean, I'm gonna spend time building this weekend. Might be out of town this weekend, so that's gonna restrict that. But hey, we're gonna make some things work here and play around with some stuff,
That's good.
and kind of report back on Wednesday and be like, hey, here's what I think of these things, and kind of give a first impressions or a 1 week
do a
rundown.
follow-up hardware review and
Yeah.
give us your honest opinion
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
I would just call it 1 week rundown. And just see what happens.
Sounds good.
Kinda go from
Did Tom show his new
Yeah.
beauty?
Oh, yeah.
He did
John
when,
was gone.
yep, when you got up to have no papers. So yeah, so you missed that segment. I mean,
For
That's
those
fine.
wondering, it looks like this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's like I like that form factor. I was a huge Wismec guy forever. I like that kind of semi trapezoidal triangular shape on mods. They
Fits the
just,
hand beautifully.
I know I've watched quite a few different review people who do reviews and how people review and stuff like that. And for me, it's like I've always liked to see a quick little unboxing, and then like I kind of like a little rundown, like how it actually performed versus it vapes well, and then just be done with it.
Yeah.
I like to kind of actually try to go through everything. Like even with Tim and his new mod, it's like I'm pretty sure it vapes well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Mods are mods, right? I've come to the conclusion that watching like mod reviews sometimes are somewhat fruitless. And I think I said this last week because it's like they get to the end of the review and then they go, "So let's see how she vapes." And then they pull it up and it's pretty much relevant to whatever addy they got on top of it as to the production that you're going to see coming out of their mouth. The mod, I mean, I'm looking for nuancy stuff. Does it fire quickly? What's the menu system like? Is it complicated to work with? I mean, anymore nowadays, it seems like most of them are pretty straightforward. So I don't know what you can garner from. You're looking for them to talk about the quality of it. Does it feel like it's made really well? Does it? Because you don't know what you're going to get when it's all said and done. I mean, I think at that point it's just you're looking at aesthetics. I know people can probably tear this apart and say, well, if you get a DNA or versus a, I get that. I get that the chipsets can play a big factor into all of that. But I mean, a mod's a mod. Like, for example, I mean, I really, at this point, as much as it disappoints all of you, I probably will not be getting too much more vape mail in the near future.
Lies.
Yeah, there's only, what's that scene? There's a scene in, I think it's like Bad Santa. In Bad Santa, where his marriage is falling apart and she kicks him out of the house and he starts leaving and he's like, I don't need anything anyway. All I need is this towel and that's it. I don't need nothing else. And then he's like slowly walking away, and as he's slowly walking away, he's like grabbing one other thing and adding it to the list. That's kind of how I feel about vaping. Like I'm sitting here telling you guys I don't need anything else. Like I'm fine. I'm like, all I need is that new Oxfa and that arbiter, that velocity and arbiter to show up, and I'm fine. I don't need anything else. And then I need that torn MTL RTA that's coming out, and the Oxfa velocity and the arbiter, and I don't need anything.
Right, but you don't need things. You want things.
Right.
Yeah, you know what?
What
I'm
you need
kinda-
is one device to vape with. That's what you need, but you want everything else.
I want one of everything effectively. Now, whether or not my wallet can support that habit is probably not feasible. But I'm kind of glad the Torn MTL kind of showed up because I was kind of eyeballing that new QP RTA that had come out recently, which was the answer to the fatality. I think it was called. It was started. I want to say it was called. I forget what it was called. It had a really kind of catchy name.
Regardless,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean it was a cool looking RTA.
Moments later.
The only problem that I had with it, beyond how cool it was the price tag. Yeah. They want $90 for that damn thing, and I'm like, I can think of so many things I can get more than a $90 RTA. Yeah. I'm sure it's justified, but after that I don't need anything.
Get a new floor heater on Amazon.
Unless somebody wants to direct me to a really I'll be honest with you. I have that that German 103 or Team 103 Brunhild mod. I mean it's still in the box, and I ended up getting the Steam Crave Aromomizer V2 Plus for it, and it was gunmetal, and I just keep putting the two together. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just not buying into that color combo. So I don't know. I'm kind of sitting here with a.
You buy
the RTA in question, Tim, is the Violator.
The Violator.
That's it. Yeah, the Violator.
Well, you usually, what I notice with you that a lot of people don't do what you do is you buy a mod, but you also try to match it with an RDA. You don't just buy a mod. I notice you always buy a mod and an RDA or an RTA.
Yeah, I don't know. Just there's.
You match your I mean, like I'll change RDAs. I don't care what the mod is. If I vape something else, but you already have a setup. So if you want to vape that RDA, you already have it matched up with another mod, right?
Like I specifically put a little effort into finding an addy that marries well with that device, whether it be aesthetical. But I don't just go, willy nilly and just buy anything. But I mean, I really put a little effort into it. So effectively over on my, you can't see it because I've got my fancy chair, but every mod I have has like its own sort of addy home. So, and I don't interchange them or swap them around. I try to build what I buy around something that's going to fit on top of it. Now, I will say I may have broken rank with that one because I got that Oxfa Velocity, Oxfa Velocity 21700 mod coming. They're not going to ship until next month, but I wanted that. I was like, oh, well, they did the Arbiter, and the Arbiter should fit really well with that mod, and I thought that would be a great pairing. But then, for some reason, he made the deck on that thing will hold up to a 26 millimeter device, and he made the Arbiter 26.5 millimeters in diameter on the bottom. So it's got that slight. It's going to drive me crazy because I'm just going to catch it out of the corner of my eye, and there's going to be that micronic overhang, and I'm going to be like, nope, this ain't going to work. So I'm kind of in a bind on that one. So I am. That's why I forget what is the Violator 28.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one's out of question for the
that overhang will drive you nuts.
Yeah, but see, and then I thought, okay, well, I could throw the Steam Crave on there because the Aromomizer is 25.
What's the deck look like though? Even if
on the Velocity.
Yeah, if you're, on the what does the top of the mod look like? Is it beveled? Is it flat? Is it going to show up that 0.5?
I think it has a slight bevel, a slight bevel to it. Here, I'll bring it up, and then we can look at it together.
It might be fine on there. It just depends the way the top is done on the mod.
Yeah, well, here I'll just bring.
If it bevels on the top, then no, I wouldn't use it because you'll see that all the time. But I think if it's flat on top without the bevel, I don't think you'll pick up that 0.5.
I'm looking to see if there's a picture of it with it kind of laying down. Here, let me share this page. Hold on 1 second.
There you go.
Un momento, por favor.
Un momento.
Run it.
That's cute.
I think
Put
I
a
might have
5 mil double Captain Alien
I thought you were
reverse.
going to put your Colorado on that thing. Here,
Well,
John, share that screen.
Not a big deal.
Sharing. I am sharing because I'm caring.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. It looks like it has some slight kind of bevels at the corners.
Yeah.
So it's. I just don't think there's one with it laying down, so you can kind of see the actual deck. I mean, they go. That's the one I got right there.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, I can use my Aromomizer V2 on there because it's kind of got a little bit of gunmetal with some black mixed in with it, so it gives some offset. It has gray in the design. And I think it's a 25 millimeter. I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're 30. They're 30. Sorry, I take that back. There you go. That's a beauty mix right there.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be allowed in my house.
That's crazy.
If I come visit you, this is coming with me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit there right in front of you, just like this.
I have security at the door checking for overhang.
No overhang in this house.
No overhang in this house. You have to go back to your car, sir, and get something that fits that deck.
Yeah. Coming in here with that. Where you couldn't even, you gotta keep that in your hand anyway. You couldn't put that in your pocket.
Sure you could.
Oh hell no!
I got some baggy jeans. I can put them in.
Some baggy beans.
Yeah, got some big pockets, man. We're good. No worries.
Your beans.
Yeah.
I
was thinking
hey,
sometime.
Brian, are you done with your hardware review? You're done?
Yes.
All right.
Fantastical.
I try to make them short and sweet for people.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
unlike me, who could talk for 5 different people.
Yeah, Tim can just talk about the 5 packages he's got coming in this week in Vape Mail.
You know what? And the sad part about that is that the Oxford stuff is on pre-order. It's not shipping until January, and I cannot find the Torin MTL anywhere in the intercontinental United States. They all from Asian sites. So I have 0 coming in.
January's like 2 days away, so it could be here in 2 days.
Unless there are some vape companies watching the show right now and would love to have a tester, I would be happy to do testing for you and do videos.
We would all
support
love to
your
do
product.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Not
I
just him.
suppose.
I figured
Yeah,
I'd just be
all of us.
first to the commentary on that one. I'm happy to test out anything you want me to test out.
I was thinking too that sometime I'd like to actually do some of my older stuff too, and like
Oh yeah, retro.
yeah. So like if I have something that you guys have or whatever, like we can meet up sometime. Like, what did you really think of this and why? Type
Here,
thing.
I'll do a retro vape right now
Oh,
Could
you
Do
are.
a what?
because I was just
A
vaping.
vetro rape is what he said.
I'm not raping anybody.
That's what you said.
A retro
Oh,
vape?
vape, I said.
There you go.
Not at any time did I say rape.
That's what I heard.
No,
Here, Brian knows.
we don't endorse that. So
No, we don't.
Look at it. Remember this baby, Brian?
I remember that guy. I have one.
what is it? Oh yeah, it's the anchor.
Anchor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's actually like right here.
There.
that's and the anchor was is that printed?
Yep, all 3D printed and no longer in business.
And stabwood door, and stabwood button.
So many things have come and gone in like
Yeah.
the last handful of years.
Last 5 years.
Yeah, just to see like things get pushed out, different
What's
things
the
added.
RDA? RDA you got on top of that, John?
And
Oh,
and
no.
now we're in the year of John's titty camera.
Yeah.
Very expensive RDA.
What's the name of it?
Can't remember the name of it.
An
Closet
expensive
Nano.
RDA for vaping?
Yeah, very expensive RDA for vaping. God, I can't remember the name of this thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tim. Oh, yeah, Tim.
What?
Due to the
What?
new U.S. vape mail restrictions, I have rerouted all of Swifty's vape mail, redirected to my house in Canada. I'll try to remember to let him know which
How-
of his ordered products
This
I like
this
best.
this
after I
crap
try them all.
always happens to me. Always happens to me.
Looks like I'm gonna have to go to
remember
Canada.
which-
Always somebody like Bill who just completely derails my vape mail.
I can't remember which RDA that is again. I think it's by Armor Mods.
Oh, that's
So unscrew it and look at the bottom.
God damn.
So my question to Brian though is like, so what do you have? Just like a buttload of devices just laying around in that room, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that from like 2 years ago. I haven't used it yet. It would look good on that mod.
Okay, so me and John were talking a while back. He was going through some box or something like that RDAs, and his big box that he had, and I commented on his post. I said I actually have every single one of those too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I kept all my almost all my old RDAs and all that stuff.
I gave away
I don't
3
know why.
last week
I don't know why I keep them. I just keep them.
to new vapors. And 4 because I gave one to my niece.
See, I'm not conducive to a new vapor, right? Like my collection now is at the point where it's like I would scare the living shit out of a new vapor.
Same. My New Year's plan, Sarah, is to go to work.
Sarah's going to make coffee, Starbucks coffee for all of us.
See,
No, thank you.
I am undecided. I have 3 different possible different plans. It depends on what happens with one thing. Will decide all the rest of the stuff. So I'm in limbo of everything. So it's gonna be fun times.
Yeah, I'm gonna borrow off of a meme right now that I saw earlier today that said I still am undecided on what I'm gonna wear to the living room tomorrow night. And
Yeah.
I might not even go.
I've seen that one too, and I'm like, I wish that was my problem.
I hear somebody's got some cool pajamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah,
I'm kind of jealous of them pajamas, man.
dude,
Yeah.
Amazon $30.
Nice.
America.
Dude, we should all get a pair and just do the show in the pajamas.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm down.
Same thing.
I'll make a confession on the show in front of the whole world. Well, that's not the whole world. It's probably like 10 people.
For now.
Yeah. But, I was like, I'd see people hanging out, in onesies and shit all the time. I'm like, oh, that's cute. They got a onesie or whatever. And then this party came up, and I've just felt guilty as hell. And I'm like, I just don't want to get like your, classic pajamas. So I ordered the onesie. Within the back of my head, I'm like, like the justification for it is like I'm not going to wear it just once. I may wear this more than once. I wear that damn thing every. I'm out there. I'm out in front of my house changing the batteries to my security cameras. Where like the whole neighborhood can see me. I'm up on a ladder in an American flag onesie, changing batteries in an Arlo camera.
That's awesome.
Spirit.
Amazing how your opinion about things can be changed in the blink of an eye.
If we all get one, we can do like a 4th of July show with him.
Yeah, it brought back the
Yeah.
childhood memories, man. Did
Yeah.
you slide across the kitchen floor? Does it have the feet part too, or no?
No, thank God. There was actually one pair that I wanted that had like skulls and crossbones on it. That was like more me, more like, not that I don't like the American flag. It was cool. It was like, oh, but there's this one with skulls on it, and it had the footies on it, and I'm like, I don't want footies on it. And then two of my friends, they ordered the same one. They showed up at the party. They had that one particular one on. And I'm like, oh yeah. And before I even could ask the question, they're like, yeah, it came with the footies, but you can take them off. It's just a zipper. You just take them right off. And I'm like, Jack.
Yeah,
I should have ordered the skulls and crossbones. But then I felt better because I'm like, damn, at least 3 of us didn't show up with them on. Actually, Sarah, I'll answer your question honestly right now. So I have like basically 2 options. My friend's band, they're a tribute band, Journey tribute band. They're playing here in Atlanta about 2 hours away from the house. And I normally travel with them to most of the local shows. But I started doing the math in my head, and I'm like, okay, that means I got to like get on the road with them by like 2 because load-in will be around 4 so they can sound check by 6. And then it's New Year's Eve, which means load out won't be until like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm not going to get home until like 4. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know if that's for me.
yeah.
Not to mention navigating multiple counties of probably sobriety checks and police. Not that I would be drinking and driving, but just thinking about the potential and the possibility of
the
that going on.
traffic that
So-
would be.
That's a good thing and bad thing. Up here, when you actually go through a DUI checkpoint like that, and you go through it, you pass everything, whatever, they actually give you a free McDonald's meal coupon. So just think how many coupons you could get on the way back. Buy them all up.
Dude, there's no incentive of like that in Atlanta. Like Fulton County just wants to slap the cuffs on you. They just want to have the whiff of alcohol on your breath. Now, I thought about, well, maybe I should go because you can't exactly Uber from a venue 2 hours away or get that free ride back home. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go because the guys probably will want to drink during the show, and I could be like the designated driver.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then, of course, there's the living room. And then there's, I think maybe one of my friends might be having something local.
Do you watch the ball drop, even if you're by yourself?
I'm 52 now, and I'm like at that point where I'm like becoming my parents, and I'm lucky enough. I'm like, my eyes might stay open until the ball drops, and then like maybe just after that, I'm out. I'm like, my mouth's wide open, and I'm just sawing logs.
I assume that's Nick. And okay, here's the thing. I used to have a job where like a while back, and it was kind of fun to do. We would have a team of 2 people in one car. We go to the bar, we pick up the other person. I would hop out and drive their car with them back to their house. The tail car would follow me, and then would hop on and do the whole thing all over again. What I would do when we'd see a checkpoint, I would actually take a different route to go to that checkpoint, get them a free like McDonald's thing, and then bring them home. So yeah, I was actually that guy.
Well, here's a game that you guys can play tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night, right? So I'm privy to a little tradition that they have in Spain, where. There you go. There you go. See, that's safe though. See, you're at your house, so you can add this to your regiment. So there's a little tradition in Spain on New Year's Eve. So at midnight, when their theoretical ball drops, they actually have the tolling of a bell, and it rings 12 times to signify midnight, right? And the game is they have a bowl full of grapes. They call them uvas. And it's grapes. And then they take the grapes, and for every toll of the bell, they have to put a grape in their mouth and try to, finish all the grapes, in that's 12 seconds or something like that. So it's kind of a fun thing to do. I mean, you could, stand on your head and do, stand on your head and drink out of a keg if you want. I don't care. But, if you want to do the grape thing, have something ring 12 times and try to shove big old grapes in your face.
We break dishes at 10 minutes before midnight.
You're never coming over.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Stay the fuck at your house.
What you do is everyone brings an old coffee mug, an old dish from your house. It's got to be your own dish, something you use throughout the year. and just before midnight you break it. And it's kind of like getting rid of all the bad shit that's happened during the year. So just before midnight, we opened the sliding door here, and it's just 30 people fucking throwing dishes. And I remember the family behind us, they just moved in, and the guy was looking over the fence because he thought my mom and dad were fighting. He's looking at all, hears all these dishes breaking, and people screaming, before they break the dish.
So how many dishes are you guys breaking for 2020?
Well,
All of them.
Right?
I mean, if I could find the video, I would
Burning all the masks.
John's family has the Bed Bath & Beyond bridal registry on speed dial.
Yeah, it's usually an old. It's got a most of the time it's an old dish, so it's not something brand new.
Right. The next day hangover cleanup is gonna
I'd be like,
all that.
yeah,
it's scooping everything out with just loud noises all the time.
I'll just hire some 12-year-old from down the street.
But I'll
No,
that
my whole thing would be, all right, my family broke all this shit. They can come back over and clean this shit up.
in the morning.
Bill, switch everyone's dishes for plastic and Tupperware. They're bouncing off the floor. What do they make these dishes out of flubber now? Like, what's going on? I don't
What the hell?
I wonder if you could fool somebody, do a spray coat or something on there to make sure it doesn't break. They keep throwing it and nothing happens, and then they know it's supposed to break.
Oh, like Flex Seal?
Yeah, but clear.
Well, yeah.
I would just give them styrofoam and think that they've lost all the strength in their arm.
It breaks before you even leaves your hand.
Exactly.
Why is this thing so light?
I don't know. All I can say is everybody just be safe tomorrow night, no matter what it is that you do. Don't drink and drive. Be responsible. I think there's all kinds of free ride systems out there. I even saw one today that's called Tipsy Tow or something like that, where basically if you're hammered, the tow truck company will come and put you in the front and then tow your car home for you for free.
And remember, if you do go out and you get too hammered to drive and everything, don't end up in jail because the judge won't see you for a couple days, so you just sit there regretting your decisions.
Yeah, they won't get to you till Monday, so this will be a Thursday through Monday morning thing. So
yeah.
Here you go.
No point.
Here you guys.
Here's the celebration.
Ok, go. Buono anno, buono anno.
Buono annos.
Ietolo, papà, ietolo.
Look at my dad. He just
Buono
kind of.
anno.
Oh, he got a shard. He got some shrapnel.
Hey, give me that plate.
John's like, just give me everything. Let me break it.
That wine glass cost me a lot of money.
Give me that plate.
See the plate?
There you go.
2019.
That's when it
who
doesn't
threw
break.
that?
That's when
Who
it's
threw that?
embarrassing. When
That's
you
a
break
redo.
it. When it doesn't break, that's so.
Yeah, really threw that plate. Here, you got to do that one again. Hey Phil, don't throw like a girl. Come on.
It's all very non-aggressive too. It's like, oh, here you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
I thought somebody got the old camping plate.
Yeah.
but there's like 30 of these plates being broken.
Inez, don't worry. John is a plate reviewer, so he gets free plates sent to him for review.
Not only that, but he's got all that vineyard money, so he's
Right there.
don't worry about it.
Excellent.
All right.
Oh, go get that. Go get it.
We get the idea.
Did you break the midgets?
It was another 12 minutes of that video of people breaking plates.
There's a lot. There's a lot of plates being broken that night.
I seen Mick used to throw midgets.
Yeah.
Did they bounce?
Good. Never broke one. Never broke a single one.
Well, we
guys,
didn't have that tradition in our family anyhow.
Yeah. It was just kind of like it just getting rid of all the bad luck. So
we just like to shoot off fireworks on New Year's when it's very cold out and a lot of snow.
Fireworks are. I had the video, but the fireworks are after the plates.
Oh, great.
They were Velcro.
No wonder you're the most hated family on the street.
No, they wore Velcro. What the hell? Against walls and stuff.
And just throw them at the wall. I got a big wall of Velcro. Just throw them at the wall.
Yeah, it's not all the plates in my house. You're supposed to bring your own plates, so yeah.
Yeah, it's BYOP.
Hey,
Yeah.
Stacy.
Yeah,
New Year's at the Truncalis, BYOP.
yeah.
Bring your own plate and throw midgets.
Yeah, it's got to be something you use throughout the year. So it's
Gotcha.
not. It's not like you don't go to the store and buy a new cup and then break it that night because that cup doesn't have any of the bad luck yet. So it's got to be something that's in your house that you've used all year. A plate, a mug, something like that. So let me break
Your self-esteem, whatever you want broken.
Yeah. It's like just before I got divorced.
You threw your ex-wife.
Yeah. No, I didn't throw my. The BMW dealership, like when you bought the BMW, they gave you a mug with your picture on it when you bought the car. So it's you standing in front of the car on your mug. And so the first year I was divorced, I grabbed that cup and that was the mug I broke. I was like, oh, bad luck. I smashed that.
Brings a home plate
the trials and
local
tribulations of the
baseball
Italians. Good stuff.
So let's do our goodbyes.
Yeah.
Ryan, you're up.
Yeah, I would just want to wish everyone a happy New Year's. Thanks everyone tuning in. It's always a good time. Let us know if you have any questions with the email and the links and the Twitters and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's always a good show. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Here's to a new year.
Tommy boy, you're up, buddy.
I want to thank everybody for stopping in and chatting with us tonight. Everybody have a safe and happy New Year. You guys have a safe, happy New Year as well. And we'll see you next week.
Opa! Tim, you're up.
Manja.
All right. So I don't have any plates to break, but I just wanted to say, good show tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And I'll echo what the rest of the group said, and that is, I hope everyone has a wonderful celebration tomorrow night and rings in what I hope to be is a much better 2021 and a brand new year, fresh start for everyone. Lots of things changing, and there's still lots of things that we have to do as a community. The fight is not over. So, let's, maybe one of our New Year's resolutions can be to renew the fight and come back stronger. Everyone stay safe tomorrow. And thanks for tuning in and joining us on for the conversation. It's been great. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
2021, baby.
Next year.
Episode 1. We're starting over, back to 1.
All right.
Thanks again to everyone that showed up tonight for the show. We love getting comments from you guys. Happy New Year's to these amazing 3 guys right here. Hopefully you guys have a great new year. I hope love finds the 3 here, me and Tim and Tom. We need Brian's
If
mad.
it does, it does.
It does. I want everybody to break a dish. Just try it this year. At just 10 minutes before midnight, just go out in your patio, take a mug, take a dish, and just break it and see it. And hopefully it brings you guys good luck. It brought me good luck. Brings me good luck every year for the first couple months.
Can we throw it up in the air and shoot it with a shotgun?
No, because
I'm in. Pull.
I'll get you put in jail here.
There, yeah, not where Brian and I are. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys are. It's fine, but not here so much. But stay on top of whatever's going on in your cities, in your states. You guys get on that petition.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what anybody thinks or what anybody tells you. It's a waste of time. Just do it. Let's show some numbers. Let's for once let them see 100,000 people, and if more, let's just
pound your chest.
Let's be that gorilla that pounds his chest and let them be surprised and see over 100,000 would be great.
Right.
Can I add real quick to that, John? You have until January 25th to sign that petition. January 25th. Anyway, go ahead.
26. Get on it, guys. The links are everywhere. I've seen it in just about 5 or 6 groups now. I know it's on the ZampleBox family page. I know it's on a couple other pages. I think it's on a couple other pages. What did I miss?
Bill. I said ready, bang, pull. Damn, got it wrong. Wrong order again, didn't I? You have to redo it.
Happens.
Crush your pack of smokes. That's
Yes.
that's the big one. Help somebody. If you see somebody smoking this New Year's, help them out. Tell them, hey,
Ask them if they've ever thought about switching to vape, and if they say yes, talk to them about it.
talk to them. All right, that's it for us, guys. Again, I'll see everybody soon, and Happy New Year's if I don't see you guys. Happy New Year's to everybody out there in chat, and let's have a great start to the new year. Peace out.